entered this European Tour event.
He's more a golf man nowadays.
Led to believe that Ryan's better than him at that.
Well, look, it's a European Tour debut for Ryan Harrington. We have seen him play on the telly before. He made his TV debut at the UK Open last year.
First leg, Ryan to throw first. Game on!
Yeah, he played on the stage, on the TV stage then, and he beat Matt Padgett 5-0.
Not a bad TV debut.
Went on to lose to Dave Chisnell, but he lost 9-6.
That's a respectable scoreline against a multiple major finalist and Premier League star, of course.
But David Pallett will be favourite for this game.
100.
Well, Pallett's another young player who's made big strides over the last 12 months. We talked about Daryl Gurney's last 12 months and how he's managed to make some significant steps forward in his career. David Pallett has done similar, perhaps not quite to the extent of Daryl Gurney, but certainly at Innsbruck on the European Tour in Austria last year. Dave Pallett made all the way to the semi-finals, and he put in some stunning displays. He was hitting 180s for fun, and he beat Caven, Klaassen, Alan Norris, Kim Huybrechts.
Kim Huybrechts, who beat at the World Championships as well.
Yeah, he's won his last 3 games against Kim Huybrechts. Kim's turning into like a big Belgian rabbit for Dave Pallett.
140.
But he only lost to Chizzy in the semi-finals of the Austrian European Tour. And of course we saw the World Championship, he beat Kim Huybrechts, some superb finishing at the end of that game to do it, and he nearly overcame Mensur Suljovic in the second round, and that was a game where both men missed a dart for a 9-darter.
One of the games of the tournament, that game.
It was superb.
95.
So Pallett, a very, very capable young player, 26 years old.
Yeah, 26 last week. From Newport in Shropshire.
60. Ryan, you require 106.
But Harrington with 6 darts from 106
53.
to hold his throw on his first leg on the European Tour.
Oh, I can just see Rod. He is pacing around backstage. He's not even properly watching it. He's just pacing back and forth.
We were thinking of getting our friends at PDC Europe to set up Rod Cam for this match. He declined the invitation.
And that is the first leg on the board for Ryan Harrington. A hold of throw. And stand up if you love the darts. Echoes around the Evenementen Hall here in Venray.
60.
Looks in good shape to qualify for the UK Open again this year, Ryan Harrington. Beat Rob Modra to reach the last 32 on Saturday's tournament before losing to Andrew Gilding.
46.
Sadly not with us this weekend.
Yeah, Goldfinger not here. Goldfinger is absolutely electric at the UK Open last year, of course. Both these guys coming through the UK qualifiers for this. Pallett seeing off LeBert, Tony Newell, and then Yuji Iguchi.
134.
Didn't make it through to the second European Tour event. Whereas Ryan beat Kieran Sullivan, James Wilson. Good win that one.
40.
And Joey Polferman. Not sure if he's still working as a bin man, Ryan. He was for a while, I know. But
45.
just trying to, give the darts a go and see how far he can go. He won a youth tour event. We're talking a few years ago now. But now's the time
57.
where he's got to knuckle down and just see how far he can get. There's no guarantee that if you practice all the time and take it seriously, you're going to be good enough to be a top player. But by the same token,
100.
unless you give it a go, you don't know how good you could be.
No, and it must be difficult to have, with all joking aside, it must be difficult to have a darting dad. As someone who's won big tournaments like Rod Harrington, a legend of the game.
Yeah. And who is, around the game still. He's still very much part of PDC Darts, Rod, isn't he? Director of the company. And that,
71.
well, that is a missed big number from Dave Pallett. Wanted the 11, hit the 8. And that can't be done. 103 left. So Pallett will get to come back and try and level a match.
Opportunity missed for Ryan Harrington
41.
there.
David, you require 32.
It's double 16 for 1-1. Double 8 now.
16.
And the opportunity has presented
Ryan, you
itself
require
again.
77.
77 required. Should still get a dart at a double. He will. And he hits it again. 77 out for Ryan Harrington to take a 2-0 lead against David Pallett and break his opponent. Could not be going better for Ryan.
A couple of double tops and a 2-0 lead, and he'll be very happy with his European Tour debut so far.
98.
Played Challenge Tour last year, did Ryan. 3 quarter-finals. You know, not pulling up any trees, but
128.
The reward for the winner of this match is a tie with James Wade tomorrow
30.
afternoon. Wade won 1, lost 1 in the Premier League last night up in Newcastle.
yeah, not a great deal he could do about the loss, was there?
59.
I'll let him off that one. I think he averaged well over 100 himself, or was averaging well over 100, and Phil Taylor just did what Phil Taylor does.
99.
Yeah. Wade has said repeatedly over the last few years he doesn't care about the rankings. Phil Taylor, in his eyes,
56.
is still the governor. Look at that.
Well, they
Look
did get the
at
rod
that.
cam.
Rod Cam. Oh, that is,
75.
Rod would be fuming. If that happened to Rod, there would be expletives. The air would be turned blue as the treble 20 just spat that dart out.
Rejected the dart.
140.
It's good response from David Pallett, though. Gets him down to 118. Well, last dart, it's got to be 19s, hasn't it, with that last dart?
I think Rod Harrington will be, if not saying, thinking exactly the same thing.
58.
Because you can't finish 99 in 2 darts, but you could finish 100 in 2 darts. Now, tops. Yes.
He likes double top. He loves double top.
Third leg. Ryan Harrington.
Forget what I said. 99 was definitely what you needed to finish. 19 tops. Stunning work from Ryan Harrington. He's hit tops in the first 2 legs. He's hit it twice in the third. He's 3-0 up.
So all it needs now to complete the set is a 120 finish using double top with every dart. But in all seriousness, no sign of nerves
96.
at the crucial point of legs. He's hitting his doubles. And Pallett under pressure.
60.
Yeah, just not happened for him so far, Dave Pallett. And it is a relatively short format in first to 6, so although, you know, there is scope for games to change, you know, the momentum can shift one way and then the next. Still room for that to happen, but
140.
it's got to happen very, very quickly for David Pallett.
Yeah, and sometimes you need something to make it happen, whether it's
96.
your opponent missing a string of doubles or
Just one big finish for yourself,
Yep.
or anything, just, you know,
busting 116, going to double 1 perhaps.
just pluck that example out of the air.
58.
Sorry, Jihan.
Harrington could leave himself handy again here. 140, 72.
David, you require 152.
Reasonable finish.
Yeah, should get him 1 dart at a double at least. Unless Pallett takes out the 152.
120.
Just felt he rushed that
Ryan,
last
you
dart a
require
little bit.
72.
Can Harrington punish him? He's been so good on double top.
52.
Oh, he misses it this time
David,
around,
you
though.
require 32.
And Pallett returns. And that's in the 7th segment. Luckily outside it. Now he's got to manoeuvre his way around these darts. Steps across, quite a distance. It's worked for him.
Pallett, fifth leg Ryan to throw first.
Well, I tell you what, he was nearly sat on Rod's lap when he threw that. He was miles away. He's thrown it from wider than Stephen Bunting throws his darts over on the right-hand side of the hockey, but he found the target.
And a hold of throw only, but threatening to break here with 180.
And maybe that ridiculous dart to find the double 16 is that little moment we need to spur Pallett into life.
Yeah, the first maximum of the match.
If you're going to miss, just missing on that top wire is where you wanted. He actually misses underneath of the next one, so it's not helped him. And he stubbornly stayed on the treble 20 and cannon into that second dart. So he's only come away with 60, and there's a chance for Harrington to go ahead of him here. Yeah, great darts.
I was just going to suggest that may be the point if he's going to falter, where he might. But no signs of nerves from Ryan Harrington. Impressive.
It's been good so far, but the job is only half done. 3 legs on the board, needs another 3 to book a meeting with James Wade tomorrow afternoon in the second round here at the Dutch Darts Masters. Important last dart for Dave Pallett. Gets him down to 101. Harrington looking at 121. Finds the 60. Doesn't even bother with the treble.
96.
Doesn't miss the ball by much.
101.
Now, can Pallett give himself a shot?
If he does, it will only be 1 shot. But it's even less than that, and Harrington will return
69.
for 25 to restore a 3-leg advantage. Double 8 now. No trouble on the doubles for Ryan Harrington here. He leads David Pallett 4-1. And at least one spectator in that crowd will be delighted.
Yep. Well, I'm not sure if Rod can keep dodging Ryan's games and commentary all the way through if he goes on a stunning run to the final. Still got to get this one out of the way first. You see the averages there. 88 and 89 in the first 9. I mean, you know, this isn't vintage stuff. We saw Pallett throwing 100 averages when he went on that run in Innsbruck last year.
The difference is 50% on the doubles for Ryan Harrington, less than 15 for David Pallett.
There you go.
57%.
100.
Oof. Yes, Ryan. It did land there.
45.
Pallett was in the practice room earlier on, practicing with Stephen Bunting. He's a regular practice partner. They're from the same stable,
60.
Nevada Darts. Ricky Evans, part of that team as well. Devon Peterson. Evans and Peterson actually square off against each other tonight in the final game of the night.
140.
Stays on the treble 20.
100.
Yeah, Bunting in action next. John Michael of Greece, his opponent.
99.
But Pallett here looking
David to require 88.
to move within 2 legs, and that's a great start. Just wants to clip it in off the other dart, and
Game
does.
shown the 6th leg. David Pallett,
So
7th
4-2.
leg, throw first.
Can Ryan Harrington hold his nerve?
80.
He knows that 2 holes of throw will be enough.
Pallett now looking to pile on the pressure.
100.
Harrington won't be fazed by 100, but will want to find a treble himself, and does.
93.
Sneaks it in the corner of the treble 18.
Great dart, perfect dart. Follows it. Can't find the bed.
140.
with the last dart, but still makes this leg interesting.
96.
Now 29 points behind, and that's just erased straight away. Ton gets into a finish. Ton 40 gets into a very manageable one. And David Pallett, if he can find a break here, would be throwing to level the match at 4 apiece in the next leg. It's not over yet, though. Not by a long shot. 1-3-2. Love a 1-3-2. Is he going to get a go at it? Treble 17 for ball for Pallett. Doesn't get the treble.
53.
Well, 1-3-2. Starting at the ball. Oh, it's dropped out of the 25.
80.
Well, who's to say if it had stayed in, if it was loose, it might have been no guide. It might have covered some of the bullseye. Even if he'd hit treble 19, but Pallett has got to hit this and does so, and that's a nerveless finish from David Pallett. It is the breaker throw that he needed.
Just on that dart, it is a bit of misfortune for Ryan Harrington there, because it was in a great position for the way his dart land if the board had accepted it.
60.
Yeah, if it stood up properly, but you never know, if it had just been loose in there and gone a bit flat, it could have started covering the ball. But anyway, look, didn't get a chance, and it's about how he responds to it. He's responded perfectly. 180 to kick off this leg.
Answering a lot of questions tonight. And now, that's 4 perfect darts.
100.
Well, he hit a 9-darter in practice earlier on. Rod came round to tell me, so I wasn't particularly happy about it, to be honest. I prefer to save it for
57.
up on the stage. He's given himself a massive advantage
40.
in this leg, just the 40. He's not down to a finish, but Pallett is a long way back, and that won't help. And that doesn't help much either.
77.
Decent last dart, but he's not enough right now. Ryan Harrington, 181, at least 6 darts from here.
Great dart.
91.
Not the worst sleeve in the world. The return for 90.
58.
And he'll have 6 darts
Ryan, you require 90.
to take it out.
Well, you would think it would be bull for tops. But he's gone the 18s route.
50.
And he sets it up. He's hit double top. Well, hit it in the first 2 legs and then hit it twice in the third leg to take a 2-0 lead. That superb 99 checkout.
40.
Ton 40 for Pallett. Applies the pressure. But is it too little, too late? Because Ryan Harrington tops for 5-3. Down for double 10. And he gets it. And he's 1 leg away.
Throw first. Game on.
And he has the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs.
Showing plenty of bottle. Holding his nerve. Now he needs to hold his throw. And he'll be in the next round.
30.
Oh, talk about handing your opponent a golden opportunity.
60.
Pallett's not jumped on it though.
$93.
He'll take any treble now as he's trying to close out this match.
Well, he'd happily take a 15-darter right now, particularly with the way the Pallett started this. 6 darts without a treble. Now then. Great adjustment.
81.
What he has done well is, that's an example of it, he's recovered well from every situation that's been thrown at him in this match. 1 dart hits a 1, the next one's in the treble 20. He got broken, breaks straight back, starting with a 180.
Again, a wild dart. Can he recover? That's
54.
Yeah, well, this time he doesn't.
Yeah, thanks for that, Ryan.
Yeah. And Pallett has a chance here. He wants to stay on the treble 20, and he does so. So a ton would leave him 158. A ton 40 is even better. 118 left. Ryan Harrington
Just starting to show a few
85.
loose starts, but again, finds a treble with the last. 118 for a third consecutive break of throw. Can't be done now. And Harrington with a chance to do it in style.
Just the 42, so it'd only be one dart for the match guaranteed if he returns, which he will. Well, that's 8 off. And he does recover again with the last dart. So 76.
It will only be one dart at a double. That double is double 18. And he gets it.
So gets the leg. It's another break. 3 consecutive breaks we've had here.
We've had 6-5 in the first 2 matches of the evening. And if Pallett holds his throw here, this one will go to a deciding leg as well.
Well, the end of the Painter Caven match, we saw 4 consecutive breaks of throw. Oh, that's a great dart. Lovely stuff.
Follows the 140. That does not help.
45.
And Harrington with a chance to putting himself in a commanding position in this leg, which he hopes is the last.
58.
But he goes in front, but not by much.
Well, Pallett showed in his win over Kim Heinbrechts at the World Championship, the biggest game of his career, biggest win of his career, that when it came down to the nitty-gritty in the closing stages, he was able to produce his best. Had finishes of 1-3-2 and 1-2-2 in the last couple of legs. Won it superbly. We're going to see, you know, a big visit like that, a showpiece finish that could swing this match.
Well, the last visit, Ryan Harrington wanted 303. Probably should have looked at the 19s. Because 2 trebles, he hit 2 treble 20s. 2 trebles would have left him, and a single would have left him a finish. But Pallett needs to take this out, because Ryan Harrington is waiting on trusty tops for the match.
3 match darts for Ryan Harrington on his European Tour debut to win 6-4 and knock out Dave Pallett. Tops he wants. He's hit it a number of times in this match. Now he needs 10s.
20.
And he's not really got that close. 3 match darts go begging. Pallett has a chance.
Yep, 86 for Pallett to take us to a deciding leg. Maybe looking at the bullseye. He is looking at the bullseye.
61.
And he's moved the wire, but Harrington will return.
20.
Match point.
Double 5, can't afford to miss inside. And he doesn't! And Ryan Harrington, a huge sigh of relief for the man as he wins it 6-4 and books his place in the second round. He will be back tomorrow. That's his first win against David Pallett. He'd lost their previous 2 meetings, but he is through. 1,500 quid.